of you might have already guessed that iguanodon means iguana tooth. When iguanodon was discovered,
it looks like a zombie.
no one
Am
had
I the
ever
only
even
one
heard
thinking
of
that?
Dinosaurs yet. So when it came time to name this bizarre new animal,
It looks like a zombie,
the only
right?
similarities anyone could think of.
Ah, that looks like a
The
zombie.
first drawings of iguanodon depicted it as a giant
Zombie
iguana-like
dinosaur.
creature. The animal it's next to is Baryonyx. Baryonyx was a carnivore, and specifically, it ate fish. We know that it ate fish because when the first Baryonyx skeleton was found in England,
Tyrannosauridae family, that means it's a relative of the T-Rex. Eutyrannus lived in the Liaoning province of China. What makes Eutyrannus special is that it is the largest dinosaur that we know of with feathers. We know that Eutyrannus had feathers because of where and when it lived. About 120 million years
because
ago.
when the first Baryonyx skeleton was found in England,
the Liaoning province with hot ash. Like what happened at Pompeii thousands of years ago. While that was devastating to the animals at that time, it's great for paleontologists because it preserves soft tissue, in some cases including feathers.
Hi, it's Park Ranger Marty again, and welcome to the...
Look at the tail. The tail, look.
You can touch the tail a little bit.
I thought you said you want to touch it.
Touch the tail quick.
Aye. But I'll be controlled, but I'll stop it aside. Yeah.
You've been wanting to touch.
I know.
Behind him is a predator named Sea.
I thought you wanted to touch that one. You were scared. Now you want to touch it.
End of the early Cretaceous. Very little is known about
Okay.
Sea due to how recent it can get any larger than
This
the
one-
size of
which-
a Great Dane, because the alpha predator role had already
It's
been
a
filled by
Tyrannus.
Seats. It wasn't until Seats went extinct that larger tyrannosaurs like
Yeah,
Tyrannosaurus
Euteraptus is over
took
there.
the stage. Also in this scene, you'll
This
see
Euteraptus.
or Deinonychus. The name means terrible claw because of the sickle-like claws on its toes. If you've ever seen a movie that had a dinosaur called Velociraptor, there's a good chance it was actually a Deinonychus. And the director just thought that Velociraptor sounded cooler.
Yeah, this one got a hair. Got a feather.
make sure to pause your audio tour until you reach our next dinosaur scene.
Our journey now takes us to the continent.
Look at Travis. Oh, see
Not
that?
the signboard.
Oh. Mm.
The Cretaceous period. The dinosaur standing here is one that I bet a lot of you know. Can you guess what it is? Did you say Spinosaurus?
Back on the outside, the other side.
You got it. Spinosaurus.
Okay, sorry, I hate to ask
Back on,
this,
but I'm back.
but you didn't happen to turn off the invisible fence, did you? Don't be silly, Dustin. How else was I supposed to get in there? Marty things every day.
This is serious, Marty. I need to call the security team right now to get those T-Rexes back before the tour gets to them. Or they get to the tour.
I'm sorry, Dustin. I didn't mean to cause any trouble.
You never do, Marty. You never do.
Triceras, that name, meaning egg.
Look at that.
When this dinosaur was
Well, that's
discovered,
probably-
it was
look,
found
that's like a
over nest
parrot.
of eggs thought to belong to Triceratops. After later research, scientists realized it was sitting on a nest of its own eggs. But the name stuck and is still debated if
That looks like
Oviraptor
a parrot.
actually ate eggs. Here at Jurassic Quest, ours take theirs sunny side up every morning for breakfast.
Yet another dinosaur from Mongolia is the large Therizinosaurus you see here, with the long claws. The claws on its hands could grow up to 3 feet long, making them the longest claws in the animal kingdom. Most of what we know about Therizinosaurus comes from animals closely related to it. The only fossils we have of this animal are its shoulders, arms, and hands. It is believed to be an herbivore, but we are still looking for more fossils to know for sure. The dinosaur next to it is a Lorotitan, lived in what is now eastern Russia. It's in a special group of duck-billed dinosaurs called Lambeosaurs, which are famous for the elaborate crests on their heads. These crests would have certainly served as display structures, but may also have been used in some Lambeosaurs as resonating chambers to make sounds used to communicate effectively through the herd. Speaking of communication, I've been directed to ask you all to keep an eye out for any free-roaming dinosaurs that may or may not be wandering around the park.
Hi, Park Ranger Marty here. Hope you're not mad at me about accidentally releasing the T-Rexes. Anyway, in this scene, you see Xianchusaurus. Xianchusaurus is a tyrannosaur from China, and it's closely related to Paleoramus from Mongolia. Both have awfully long, narrow noses for members of the tyrannosaur family. We're not sure what those noses may have been used for. Maybe to cut through water, making them faster, more accurate fishermen, or maybe they were specializing in smaller, faster prey, not needing the powerful bite of a T-Rex. Speaking of which, if you see one of them, please let one of our 4 security officers know. Now, scientists only described this dinosaur in 2014, so there are still a lot of unanswered questions about it. But I can tell you this much. In the United States, we do not typically refer to this dinosaur as Xianchusaurus. We typically just call it Pinocchio Rex.
Now we travel to Argentina. The big animal you see in this scene is Giganotosaurus, arguably one of the largest meat-eating dinosaurs. Though it may look a lot like T-Rex, it's actually a much different animal. Unlike a T-Rex, it has 3 claws on each hand, a lighter bone structure, and teeth that were designed for slicing. Unlike a T-Rex's, which were meant for crushing through bones and ripping car tops open. Speaking of which, if you see one of our missing T-Rexes, please let one of our 3 security guards know where.
It's good.
Second largest in this scene is Carnotaurus, which means meat-eating bull because of peculiar horns on its head.
No, we're not.
It might have used its horns as a weapon against other predators. It's a very funny-looking dinosaur, not just because of the horns, but because of its tiny little arms. Carnotaurus has one of the smallest arms of any
Horned-faced dinosaurs. The ones in this scene include Titanoceratops, Cosmoceratops, Styracosaurus, and Brachioceratops. Now, there are 2 families of ceratopsians, Chasmosaurines and Centrosaurines. Now, Chasmosaurines have 2 prominent eye horns above their eyes and a very large frill. Centrosaurines do not typically have prominent eye horns and tend to have smaller frills, but sometimes they have some rather ornate horns coming out of those frills. Now, if you'd like to learn more about ceratopsians or any dinosaur, you can text your questions to me at 844-DINO-411. That's 844-346-6411, and I'll be happy to help.
This armored dinosaur is Ankylosaurus, also known as fused lizard. Ankylosaurus was armored from head to toe, with bits of bones on their skin called osteoderms. They are known for having a bony club tail, which was used to swing back and forth as a weapon to deter predators. Scientists have even found a T-Rex fossil with a broken leg that was shattered at about the same height as an Ankylosaurus tail club. This suggests that Ankylosaurus could fight off a T-Rex and possibly even win. The animal here is a Pachycephalosaurus, meaning thick-headed lizard, named after its thick, domed skull. It is often depicted as being used to headbutt each other for dominance, but some scientists think it is more likely used for display, and that the large dome didn't grow until much later in life, which has implications for the next dinosaur in this scene, Dracorex hogwartsia. It And if that sounds like something from a Harry Potter book, that's because it's from a Harry Potter book. The name actually means Dragon King of Hogwarts because its skull looked a lot like the skull of a dragon. There are some who think that as this dinosaur aged, the shape of its skull changed, and that what we're really seeing here is a juvenile Pachycephalosaurus. But we won't know for sure until more fossils are found.
Yay!
I've got great news, everyone. Our brand new head of security, Lisa, has managed to locate one of the T-Rexes and bring it back to this area.
Finally!
That's great news because T-Rex is one of the most common favorite dinosaurs. So that means we can actually talk about the T-Rex, the Tyrant Lizard King, while we have one of them here to look at. Tyrannosaurus Rex have the most powerful bite of any land animal, between 8,000 and 12,000 pounds per square inch. They needed such a powerful bite to crush the bones of their prey, or even tear through the roof of a car. The powerful bite wasn't the only trick that T-Rex had up its very short sleeve. It also had something called a septic bite. T-Rex had very short arms, so it couldn't brush its teeth. That means its mouth was filled with bits of its last meal, filling its mouth with bacteria. When T-Rex went hunting, it would sometimes bite into prey that got away. If that happened, some of the bacteria from T-Rex's mouth might infect the wound, causing the prey animal to get sick. T-Rex could use its terrific sense of smell to track that prey down. Let's get out of here before that other Rex picks up our scent.
Next. Wait, no, don't.
On to the next area, the Triceratops. Park Ranger Marty can tell you all about them. They're his favorite.
Make sure to pause your audio tour until you reach our next dinosaur scene.
And finally, here at my favorite dinosaur, the Triceratops. The cool thing about Triceratops... No! The last T-Rex is in with the Triceratops' pen, and he's eating the Triceratops. Oh no, folks, this is terrible. That's my favorite Triceratops.
Oh
Lisa!
no!
Missing T-Rex! Lisa, do you copy? Oh no, this is terrible.
Oh.
Well, since we're here, Triceratops is an herbivore from the end of the Cretaceous period. That's the same time and place that T-Rex lived. Now, Triceratops means three-horned face for pretty obvious reasons. Scientists used to think that Triceratops used the frill on the back of its head to defend its neck from T-Rex. That seems like it would make a lot of sense, but there's actually evidence that when T-Rex did eat Triceratops, he would sometimes bite down on that frill and pull the Triceratops' head right off. That meant it was less of a shield and more of a pull tab on my favorite dinosaur. But that crest was still there for some reason. Most likely a display to attract mates or to scare away rival dinosaurs. Wait, I think that T-Rex is starting to notice your vehicle. Better make like a tree and bark out of here. Well, the good news is, at least we're not going to see anything scarier or with a bigger bite.
You scared of it?
And now for something scarier with an even bigger bite. Megalodon. Megalodon is the largest shark to ever swim the seas. It is believed to reach up to 60 feet in length and had rows of hundreds of teeth. These teeth would sometimes fall out and be replaced with new teeth, similar to sharks today. Megalodon teeth have been found on every continent, including Antarctica. For centuries, these teeth were thought to be the petrified tongues of dragons and sea serpents. What they actually were was no less scary. The good news is that Megalodon is definitely extinct, despite what some TV shows and movies would have you think. While the ocean can be treacherous, Megalodon is not the danger in it. At least, not anymore.